I think the thing we're most excited about as a financial opportunity and as well as a way to reach you guys and many, many other people whom we don't reach is the concept behind the iPad and the tablet and the apps. And I know, at least according to my daughter who goes to Elon, she's just compiling apps as she goes along, and hopefully we're going to be putting the CBS News in a 60 Minutes app, which is going to allow you to experience a story that we've done in a different way. And that's where your creativity and your ingenuity can be brought to the table, as you move forward in internships or when you graduate. How you guys digest media is going to largely drive how we put it out there. It's not going to alter the professional content of it, but you guys are the ones who are going to help drive how you want to experience stuff. And that's why you guys have such an important place in the future of mainstream, big-time journalism. And I think that's the power that you have is something you guys really need to dial into. You're not at the bottom of the line waiting for that job, that you need 20 years experience for, or 10 years. The skills that you're learning here, I think, are going to be almost immediately applicable outside.
So social distribution is interesting because it forces entities to have to give up some control. They want to control everything, control how the content gets pushed out. And with social media and social distribution, it has a life of its own, which is a good thing and could be a bad thing. It's sort of like blogging. You can help facilitate a blogger, an expert blogger in a certain area who brings a level of expertise and credibility, but can also knock the entity that's supporting them. But that's a risk you take.
I think your greatest challenge, though, is going to be what separates you from the other guy out there with a blog who's not authoritative, who doesn't have something that's accurate, and this whole media literacy component. How do you know what's real, and how do you know what's genuine?
How do you know what you read in Wikipedia is accurate?
Right, and obviously the way to do that is to help yourself build a brand, and if you were to become affiliated, say, with either a news outlet or a research foundation, or a major medical center, there are anyone from the National Institutes of Health to the National Academy of Sciences. These folks would love to sponsor young people. If you have the imprimatur, if you have that brand associated with what you're doing, you are immediately separated from the blogosphere of folks who are just kind of, as well-intentioned as they may be, just putting stuff out there. And if you want your stuff to be credible, and it is credible, if you want it to be received as such, finding those affiliations are important, just as important to you as it is to the folks at the National Academy of Sciences who want attention brought to what they do. It's that convergence that he's talking about.
A lot of what we do is sponsor explorers and education grants. We have for-profit businesses that the profits that are generated go to the society, and that's what funds it for. So one of the most enjoyable weeks for me every year is this Explorers Week, where the explorers from around the world come in and give presentations of what they're doing. So we have Bob Ballard, who discovered the Titanic, and he talks about what he's doing next. And Jacques Cousteau's granddaughter comes in and talks about what she's doing. One trend I've seen with the explorers is they have to become technology savvy. They have to become self-reliant in terms of video production, audio, the information, even blogging, and they carry hard drives with them. They know that if they're not careful, if they don't have protection, they can lose a lot of valuable content. So they're becoming self-managed crews almost, and that's a key component of getting their message out and communicating their message. So a lot of them are deep into research, deep into science, but they have to get their message out to the rest of the world, and that's one of the ways they achieve it. my best developers also worked as designers, and sort of vice versa. So certainly the web is one outlet. Another element of convergence that we're seeing is a new UI, a new user interface that's coming about with all the new platforms like the iPad and internet-enabled television. So you had television programming that had a certain look and feel with character generators and all the graphics you could use. You had a web world with a certain look and feel, and now there's a new set of interactive devices that are going to have a whole new set of designs. So I think that the interesting place for the future is those interactive platforms. So the iPad's the recent rendition of that. You know, what's it going to be? What's Apple going to come out with in 3 years? You know, might be an eye implant. You know, who knows? Right? The worst thing I ever could hear in a work environment is, "This is the way we've always done it." That's someone who just can't deal with change and tries to hold on, and they just hurt themselves in the long run. And folks that see the changes coming and adapt to it are always the ones that are going to get farther ahead.